Hi, it's Rebecca Empathic Crow. We are on take 3. And it's funny because what's going on right now where I came to the park and all of a sudden there are so many more people here and there's somebody riding around on this leaf blower thing. It's in alignment with the message. The message came through with chakra questions, but the chakras are not in order. So we'll go ahead and do this because I feel like it's a good quick message, and not all of my messages are quick. After this, though, I am going to do a reading, and if that's not quick, that's okay. So the first message comes through the sacral chakra. Personal empowerment, play and creativity, comfort within yourself. So these are things that you're being encouraged to ask yourself, are these things that I have in my life? Next is connection to crown and third eye chakra. This connection outside of the physical and immediately visible. So like even when I was channeling this message, there's a lot of things that were going on right in front of me, whether that was the sounds or the sights. I'm glad people are coming out and taking a break because that's part of this message. But for me not to get distracted. So connection and paying attention to things outside of just the physical things within my body and the immediate things going on. Really tapping into that subconscious outside of earthly expectations and judgments. And so this is important when we're talking about that personal empowerment, and this all builds on itself. And personal empowerment, play, creativity, and that comfort within yourself. If you're holding on to those earthly judgments, whether those are judgments of yourself or expectations, the things you've been told, you should always do this. If you do this, you're being lazy, or you're being a dreamer, you're this or that or whatever. It's letting go of those things. Next, solar plexus chakra. Let go and flow. That is the message. Let go and flow. Release anxiety. Focus on what you can do and what you want without judging yourself. This is a big piece of it because while other people may judge you, they're going to judge you. You cannot change what other people say and do. But what you can change is learning to reframe, refocus, and challenge your thoughts about your own judgment and anxieties. Even if it's things that have been ingrained into your mind and your nervous system for your whole life. You have a right, and the power only resides within you to be able to change the way that you think about those things. Next, we're going to talk about heart. What brings you joy? Makes your heart and soul sing? Is it best for you as well as possibly to help others? So this is where we think of like the air mask in the plane. You know, if you don't put your air mask on first and you're trying to help other people, you're losing oxygen. If you pass out or something happens, you can't help anyone. So the same thing applies to our life. You have to be able to find things that make you comfortable, that make you feel content, things that bring you joy, things that aren't keeping you in that sympathetic nervous system where your anxiety and stress and your body are overloaded and you're getting ill or you're fatigued, all of those things. You have to build yourself up first so that you can help other people. And even in helping people, our heart chakra, that empathy may be really big. We may have a lot of compassion, but understanding that we cannot change things for other people and we cannot give and give and give to our detriment, and it doesn't help them. I've talked about this before. You cannot be somebody's only resource because you're doing a disservice to you and you're doing a disservice to them, because you have put yourself in a position where somebody is always coming to you. They don't know, or they may not realize there are other resources for them to go to. So you're getting tapped out, and then they may be capable but don't have the knowledge of how to do things for themselves or to find other resources, things that may be more sustainable than just you. And then root chakra coming through. Does it bring you peace, stability? And in capital letters here, not just financially, but within your body and mind. So we focus a lot on you're a responsible person if you get this job where you have financial stability. And we know here in the US, at least, there are a lot of changes within structures. I'm not going to get political. This is just a fact. As far as what is a profession and what is not. There are a lot of reasons behind that, but that financial stability can change based on your experiences, your needs, the economy, politics, all these different things. So it's bringing you peace and stability, not just in a financial way, but in your mind and your body. You are going to be able to create situations or think of things that can bring you more abundance or financial stability if you're not constantly in this mode where you're worried about what's happening outside of yourself. You cannot control the things outside of yourself. It's hard to even control the things within ourselves sometimes. Are you grounded and focused, or are you scrambling, fearful, overwhelmed, and disconnected, feeling cut off? So this is where we look at balancing that root chakra. So now we have the throat chakra. It may not feel safe to tell others about your desires, dreams, and plans. It is okay to limit those who you speak about these things to. But the most important piece is that you start to honor and to speak your truth. And it may feel scary. And so sometimes we're going to say, oh, I shouldn't even say that. But words are powerful. If you want something and you speak it, it's easier for you to create it. If you push it down, you've got all those worries and things going through your head, and that's what you're focusing on. You have to focus on the things that you want and how can I do this? So those are the chakras, how the message came through, and this is the wrap up, okay? Without balance, which takes practice, time, redirection, and refocusing, patience, and grace, and that is grace towards yourself and sometimes to others, the soul's journey to a life of more contentment will feel like a broken and treacherous path. You have already lived in the discomfort and chaos. What if you actually created more lasting peace? If you could just change your focus, endure, and believe that you can create and you deserve to have, without stipulations, a life that supports you and feels more aligned with your needs, your well-being, and your personal autonomy and sovereignty. Do you believe that? Or do you believe that you have to do things a certain way? That in order to be successful, that your definition of what is successful, your definition of what makes you worthy, comes from this more narrow idea of walking these paths that you're expected to walk because that's what others told you? Or do you really feel like you're in alignment with what you're doing? We have to decide what it is that we want. And even for myself, this message is beautiful and timely because I'm coming up to a point where I am letting go of my therapy license very shortly. And that was something that, yes, I needed some of those things in order to be able to help people in a way that society understood. But I'm shedding that need or desire to fit into this mold and these expectations because there's so many other ways that I can help people, and I'm very excited about that. Even being able to, oh, I totally forgot that I had put lotion on and forgot my rings. Even being able to deliver a message to someone the other day from a loved one and seeing how healing that was. And yes, therapy is healing, and there are people out there who will continue to do those things, and sometimes they even bring the spiritual and the therapy stuff together. But I am so excited to not have to worry about trying to figure out how to do that. And I also have a course that's coming up. I didn't mean to go into that because I am not a salesy person, but just so you know, I'm working on it, hoping to have it ready for January. It is, I've got the workbook that I'm creating in front of me, Grounded and Glowing. It's a heart-centered self-care journey. And so with this, it's things that I have intuitively chosen that can help with resetting emotional and energetic well-being. So we're talking about some mindfulness, some spiritual, some energy techniques, things like that can help to get you back into that state of grounded, renewal, refreshed feeling. And so I didn't even think about that when honestly, I didn't think about that when I was channeling the message. I love how the message kind of came full circle for myself, and I hope it does for you as well. I'm just excited, and I feel like that when we can help people in a way that feels more aligned with ourselves, then that is always a good thing. For example, I was going to be an elementary school teacher until the end of my junior year of college, and I did an internship, and I was like, well, I love teaching children. I really love the psychology more. And so then I switched my major, double majored, because I couldn't do just one thing, and went that route. I don't regret the things that I've done, but at the same time, they're no longer necessary. So the education and experience that I have, it's helpful, and maybe it helps bring some validation to others that in addition to the gifts I've had since I was a child, they've just always been there, and then they expand and grow as I learn more about myself. I connect, I meditate, I do the things. That it wasn't what I thought it had to be. And you can be, I'm 46 now, as of recently. You can be older and still pivot and turn and do things differently. You're not stuck. That was one of the messages in there. You're not stuck. But you do have to get out of your head. You do have to get out of the mentality that you've been taught. Like the blog that I wrote, I guess it was earlier in the year, The Matrix is real. It's just not like the movie. The Matrix is all the structures, all the rules, all the things that you've been taught that aren't necessarily necessary. All right, it's already 11 minutes and I said this would be shorter, so I'm going to end on that. But I hope that you have a wonderful day